Well, howdy, howdy. This is a special presentation. I'm so excited. My name's Louis Herms with Screw Big Gov and screwbiggov.com, freedominaction.net, truth tours, remember your oath, documentaries, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now we got that over with. Please like, share, follow, help us because they hate us. The algorithms, they don't like us very much, so we have to mess with them. My friend, Matt Geiger is here from veritymetals.com. I am thrilled to have you here, brother. How are you?
Good. How you doing, Liz? Thanks for having me.
Good, good. So, I know you're disappointed because Kamala didn't get elected. So, sorry about that.
I just got done screaming in the street for the last 10 hours.
Did you? Like, you're the new no meme, right?
Exactly.
It, it'll be the Geiger meme. You're gonna
Yep.
go viral. It, it's crazy. I was just texting with Dr. Doug Frank actually because I was doing the numbers myself. You know what? I'm going to show you this. This is pretty cool. So I just made this map. You're going to be one of the first to see this. Um, that's what I think really happened in the election, right?
Perfect. Sums it up.
And can you see the little dot, the little star that says
Yeah,
DC
DC.
there?
Yep.
Right. So I'm illustrating this because what I'm trying to show people is uh, we've had a deep state cabal running things for a long time. So it doesn't matter what the election map looks like. That's where they run everything, and they only care about their own personal agenda. So he actually thinks that I could be right, by the way, because in fact he just texted back. He says the people are forgetting about the fact that Kamala Harris is the a worst candidate of all times, right? And there is still massive cheating. In fact, he's looking at the down ballots and it just massive, massive, massive cheating. So they couldn't fake enough votes to win the election. So when I used to say this tongue in cheek before the election, it's going to be all red and there's going to be a blue little star that will be DC. I don't know that I'm wrong at this point.
No, I mean Trump probably won all 50 states, not just in this election, but in the prior. I heard in 2020 from I forget whatever source it was, but it's somebody reliable that Trump got 110 million votes, Biden got 10 million.
Holy
I believe it.
moly.
I
I,
believe
I
it.
don't I don't doubt it. I mean, I live in California, right? And clearly there's more people here that's voted for Trump than Kamala. And certainly for Biden also. So if he could take California, right, with and Nancy Pelosi is back in, come on. It doesn't even make any sense, right? Nobody's going to vote her
It's
back
a
in.
scam. It's a
Yeah,
scam.
it's a total scam. So I'm calling publicly. I actually did an open letter to President Trump, and now I'm calling publicly to please audit 2018 to 2024. I said we need to not only reset those races, but I think people need to get a clear picture of what's really going on. And people say, why would he waste his time on that? Well, because we need a clear picture of what's really going on so we understand how heavy the manipulation is. And so we don't fall back into this same trap after Trump's out of office.
I mean, people, you could look at the election in 2020. You saw remember in Philadelphia, they were taking the boards up after the right to start counting the votes later, and they're putting the boards in the windows. I think they were doing that in Michigan too.
Yep.
I mean, all you have to do is see video like that. It's just from a common sense standpoint, you can see something's wrong. And there's nothing better than Trump winning the election just now and then saying, no, we got to audit our elections and still going with that, even though he won. It's
Yeah.
perfect. It's as good as it gets.
Yeah, and I think what it does is it traps the deep state because the deep state is claiming there's already election fraud in 2024. So you go, great, let's audit it all. So
All
in
of
their
it.
imagination, they're going to think, oh, we have a chance. But or if they don't support it, they look like fools to their constituents. And if they do support it, they're writing their own death ticket. So I think it's a no-brainer to do a comprehensive audit for all 50 states, counties, and cities.
But I don't think they're going to let Trump in on January 20th. I don't think
Yeah,
that the inauguration is going to go through. I think they're going to push back. Juan talked about it a little bit. If you watch some of his recent interviews, we're going to go through like the next 6 months of hell, right? So what impact does this have? Well, why are the markets moving up right now? Why are cryptos moving up right now? It's all the confidence in Trump,
yep, yep.
right? So if you if you stop Trump from getting into office through whatever, slick tricks they're going to throw at him, you're going to erode that confidence. And this is where you could actually see potentially a market crash. This is where you could actually see a crypto crash, because these people are not going to let this guy in. Just as well as better than anybody, that if Trump gets in, it signs their death warrants. Quite
Game
literally.
over. It is game over if Trump gets in. Yeah. I agree. They're going to try something. I mean, so there's been an attack in Beirut from Israel, and immediately after it comes out, U.S. made missiles. There was an attack from Ukraine to Russia. Immediately came out right after U.S. made missiles. So these are CIA top type operations where they know they're going to do the missiles, and then immediately they leak to the media that these are U.S. missiles authorized by Biden. So people can say, "Oh, these are white hats trying to show that Biden is this or that." I don't see it that way. I see that this is the last ditch effort for the deep state to do something. Now, if they create World War III or any major war, major conflict, especially with Russia or China, they will enact the War Powers Act, the WPA, and they can suspend the inauguration as if they think it's a good idea to have one
Right.
war president just keep going. So absolutely, but I've been saying this for a while. I absolutely believe the messiness I predicted would start somewhere between November 15th and January 20th, and we're right there.
Right there.
Right. And
Yeah.
and
This is
I hope for the best. I pray for the best. I think it's going to get dirtier before it gets better. And look, Juan's always talked about a near-death experience. We have not seen that yet.
well. He's also talking about how they're going to push back on Trump, but Trump's not going to really try to launch himself into office. He's going to let them push. He's going to let them expose themselves, right? That's part of the awakening process, right? People have to start to see this. People have to wake up to the idea that, oh, smooth transition. Look what these idiots are doing. They're not going to let this guy in the office. It's going to affect everything. And let me tell you something. That could be, you might need storable food right now. You might need a generator. You might need all kinds of stuff. Get prepared. Get
Yep.
prepared. This is about to get real.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Realer than real could possibly be. So, off topic, but it's so fun because I know you're really into George Magazine and JFK Jr. and so on and so forth, right? Oh yeah, I just noticed it's a George hat. Very cool. Very cool. So, oh, I need to backtrack because I was thinking about it. When you said it's so obvious, your state, Arizona, there was a 97-mile Trump caravan in
Yes.
2020, yet he loses. I just people just need to see it. So that's what's really going on in all these states. Um, so now that my shiny penny squirrel moment is over, back to George and JFK Jr. What do you feel the connection between George and JFK Jr. is?
The new George or the old George?
The new George. Great question.
So the magazine is nothing like the old one. It's the articles, the subjects, they're nothing like the old one. I think they do a good job. I thought Rachel, right side, I thought she did a fantastic job, and in her position there. I love what she's doing now with the old George magazines. I don't know if there's much of a connection there. I really don't. I'd love to go into more detail. I probably shouldn't, but hey, it's out there. Check it out. It looks like I think a lot of their articles they do are cool. I wrote an article in issue 16. If any of your audience wants a copy, I'd be happy to send you. I have boxes of them. I don't know. I really like the old George magazines. You look at especially the 1997 series, not just the survival guide, but that whole series in 1997. That's the most mind-blowing stuff. So if you can pick up any of those issues, it doesn't even have to be the expensive survival guide to the future, but the one with the dog on the cover, the Julia Roberts one, I think it's the Harrison Ford one, where he's with Lincoln with the hat. That's got a lot of communications that apply to today.
So you believe JFK Jr. is alive?
I mean, I do. I think that it's more. It's not just about Junior. It's not just about Junior coming back. I think a lot of people that we think are dead are alive.
Mm-hmm.
I think what it indicates, it's an indicator that there's probably going to be a lot of bad things that start to happen here, and this country is going to need it's going to need hope. It's going to need motivation to move in the right direction and get people that, you know, maybe are losing loved ones from, you know, think about the vaccine, right? We're how many years into people being vaccinated? I think you're going to start seeing a lot more deaths, a lot more health problems. You already are. I mean, cancer's up what, like 900%? It might even be 9,000%. So during this time, I mean, you're going to see a lot of parents that were insistent on giving their kid a vaccine because they thought they were so knowledgeable and that they were trusting the science. Now, you know, imagine being a parent recommending that vaccine, your kids drop dead.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're going to need people like a John Jr., like a maybe an Elvis Presley, right? Maybe a Prince or a Michael Jackson. We're going to need these people to reestablish hope and motivation to move this country forward, which is going to be a very dark time.
Yeah, I agree. In fact, I put in my first film, 2020 Vision, part of it, I said JFK Jr. is the emotional keystone to help get us back on track. So then that was about 5 years ago. And folks, that's why that's important. It has nothing to do with you sitting on your couch as a patriot saying, we don't need celebrities, because you're right, we don't need celebrities. It's different though. There is an inherent attachment to celebrities within inside of our country and many countries. And if it were shown that what was considered a good guy, both sides thought so, Democrats and Republicans, they had to fake his death in order to keep him alive, and he comes back, that will immediately start to heal the nation. So these celebrities can be used for the positive too, not just the negative, what we was seeing for all these years. So Junior allegedly died in 99. When was the last print of the original George magazine?
That would be 2001.
So
2001. My aunt actually published the original George magazines up until his death.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, my Aunt L.
So my question's going to be really appropriate. And you can touch your nose if you can't really say. Do you believe that post 99 JFK Jr. would have written any of the articles that are in there or had some influence on them?
You're saying in the new ones?
No, in the old ones from 99 until when it was shut down.
Oh, gotcha. I probably couldn't tell you just because I wouldn't know necessarily his writing style well enough to be able to give you like a good answer. Somebody who could would probably be, again, Rachel, somebody like that.
Okay.
Right.
Just curious. I think that
I do think that there have been magazines that have been issued, things like Vanity Fair, some of the major, Time magazine. I do think that he's had his hand in magazine publishing since 1999 until the present day.
Okay, cool.
And one magazine I can show you that would absolutely 100% prove that.
Really?
Yeah. If you look at that, and also in 1999, the National Enquirer, it's, the covers, Junior dying, right? And it's, everything's sad, blah, blah, blah. And then you open up the cover, and on the back, it says, "Could there be a President Trump?" Right on the back of the cover.
Oh my Lord. That's amazing.
I'll send you a copy. I've got a bunch of them.
Yeah. Cool.
But just very interesting stuff. Very out there type stuff that you have to kind of sit down and look at these magazines, be like, okay, this could be a possibility. And then you see it over and over again. You're like, he knew how to publish magazines. He knew how to print magazines. What would stop him from doing it, from the grave?
Yeah. Very cool. Oh, I love that. That's badass.
And I also think, the significance of these people is also, you're going to need somebody like that to testify that, yeah, there really is a deep state. Like, yeah, I had to go fake my death because these people were out to kill me.
Yeah.
Right. They tried to kill him twice that we know about. They tried to kill him twice in the 1990s. So he probably just sat there and said, I got to go underground. I got to get out of this. Right. So you're going to have a lot of people coming forward saying, hey, we had to fake our deaths in order to, like, I think Kobe Bryant is 100% alive. Call me crazy, but that helicopter crash back in 2019, I think it was. I think Kobe was into that whole satanic ritual stuff. I mean, look at his numbers, number 24, number 8, right? These all have significance. And I think he got himself caught up in the satanic cult, the Trump team, or the white hats, let's call them. They offered him a way out.
Mhm.
And it'll be, that's going to be some of the most interesting stuff to hear about are those stories when they come out. That's going to be epic.
Well, I think so as well, by the way. In fact, I'll go as far as Whitney Houston for the same reason of Kobe. Whitney's
Yes.
daughter died shortly thereafter also. So and I believe they would take a loved one with them
Right.
into um
Gone with the
this
Wind.
this
Yeah.
witness protection type deal, right? So it's fascinating, Matt, fascinating. So you know what's fascinating also is over the last few weeks I've been studying precious metal companies like gold, silver, and so on and so forth. And you and I have had some discussions of what your margins are, and I've looked at margins of some other companies, and I am shocked. They're just flat out ripping people off, and so they're offering, I guess, these huge commissions or something to. I'm not going to say anybody names, but they're offering some massive commissions, and the reason why they get away with that is because they're literally gouging a client. So tell us how you do things different, because I was very impressed. You do a few things different than others, and you're more interested in the relationship and the long-term vision of your clients and people like me that may promote it on their shows. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, you go to these gold companies, most of them are out of, Los Angeles. Um, nothing against Los Angeles, but a lot of the people that tend to gravitate toward gold companies are not exactly, a lot of these guys are old stockbrokers from the 90s that, maybe got in trouble and, had problems, whatever the case may be. Gold and silver in a physical form is completely unregulated business, right? So if something goes wrong with your gold and silver IRA with XYZ gold and silver company, there's no real CFTC to fall back on,
Mhm.
right? Unlike, your traditional financial portfolios. And yeah, I mean, I have a friend over here. Her son works across town in another gold firm. They're selling gold and silver American Eagle proof sets, which are, they're cool. I wouldn't buy them for an investment purpose. It's already expensive gold. But my cost to bring in a proof set is it's 1.85 ounces. You get a 1 ounce, a half ounce, quarter ounce, tenth of an ounce, right? And it comes in a nice set, right? Coins are nice and shiny. They look cool. But it's just gold. It's 1.85 ounces of gold. To bring in, I think I look at my dealer sheet. I think to bring those in, it was somewhere around $6,000 to bring in one of those sets, which is already expensive. But for 1.85 ounces, that's like 3,000 and some change gold. These guys are selling these things out the door for $12,000 a piece. So if you have somebody coming to them with a $500,000 IRA and they do business with that company, as soon as they get their statement, their account value is $250,000 right off the bat, probably even less because
Wow.
you're already paying a premium. Mark, your account might be
Wow.
$200,000.
I can't
Between
even
two and
believe
two.
it's legal.
It shouldn't be, and honestly, it shouldn't be. And that's why when I started my own company, I was like, hey, we can do really easygoing premiums, right? Charge people a small fraction of what these people charge and do a better job. The other aspect is that we give people access to whatever vaulting that they want. I mean, in theory, what you can do is you can set up an LLC,
Mhm.
right? And if you buy a safe through that LLC money, through that IRA money with that LLC, you could put a safe in your house and you could realistically store the gold and silver on your own. You just can't commingle it with anything else. So if you have, $5,000 of cash that you want to just store and you got your safe and you can't put that cash in there. You
Mhm.
can't put your guns and ammo in there. It's got to be designated to that IRA, right? So in the event that you did get audited, they could come down there, open the safe. Okay, everything's there, right? If you want to take a distribution, you can just send out that gold, right, and just cash it in. You still have to fill out a distribution, but you still have to go through the motions. But in the event of, let's say 10 days of darkness or whatever whatever storm is going to hit the fan, you have access to your stuff, right? If the world's burning around you, right, your stuff's sitting there where you can access it. Or, we have a local depository here in Phoenix. I tell people locals, just go down there, set up an account. Costs you maybe a little bit more per year than the standard. A lot of these gold companies, they offer maybe, it's like a $200 a year storage and everything's great. I've never spoken to these depositories. I have no idea who these people are, right? And no one has. So you talk to your rep at one of these gold companies, they've never spoken to these people. You have no access. If things go down, the only thing you're going to be doing about your gold and silver is this: praying,
Yep. Wow.
praying it's there. So yeah, we give people a lot more options. It's a little bit more involved. It requires a little bit more work. There's a little bit more cost to it, not a lot, but it's way better. And yeah, our fees are tiny fraction of what these gold companies charge. It's outrageous. I don't know how they get away with it.
Yeah, they truly are. And with the volatility that we are foreshadowing here, I think it's a no-brainer to get into precious metals. For me, silver, I know you and others like gold also, but silver's seems to be more upside, less risk than gold to me, but that's just my opinion.
What gold's nice for is that, let's say you did do an IRA, right? I have a client right now. She has a credit union down the street. She knows the bank there. She knows the banker. She feels good about storing it. It's literally one block down from her. She's going to store her gold and silver in the safety deposit box, which I typically wouldn't recommend, but she knows the credit union. She knows the people. She feels good about it. And it's the only thing local to her. In Florida, it's very hard to find depositories. So certain states, this is stuff that I talk to people about. But in her case, she's doing probably $750,000, right? So she's pretty much going to have to do all gold just to fit it in that, the safety deposit box, the big long boxes. She'll be able to fit $750,000 in this safety deposit box. So silver's a little bit might be out of the question for that particular storage space, but it's in physical form. She's getting gold. But yes, I would recommend, up to a certain amount. Silver's great because I agree with you. There's more upside potential. Although I do also look at it as a store of value. I don't look at it as like, something where you're looking to buy silver at, 35 and sell it at 1,000. Right. I think it's just, again, what we talked about on the show prior, bridging this period of time, getting through so that you have money on the other side. But there very well could be. I don't like to promise people pricing because you never know what's going to happen. And I don't want to be the guy to call some crazy number. And then, I look like a fool 6 months from now.
I think what you do is responsible, which I like. So awesome. Anything else you want to cover before we call it a day?
We're going to be seeing you, I think, at Mar-a-Lago here.
That's next
month, beginning of next month. So we'll see you there. We got the whole team coming. Vlad's coming. Ethan. We're bringing Michelle Stapley, who's awesome. We love Michelle. So we'll be down there. We'll see you there. And I think it'll be a great time.
It will be. All right, brother. Appreciate you.
Thank you.